Congresswoman, thanks so much for joining us on this Saturday. We appreciate it. Let's start things off with the news out of Saudi Arabia. The Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, saying that the kingdom is not going to be able to pump out any more than 13 million barrels a day. We know that that's not very much more than what it's already pumping out, about 10 million a day. Peter Doocy reminding us this tracks with what the French president was trying to tell President Biden just weeks ago. So was all of this worth the trip?
I honestly think it was for show, to try to convince the American people that he's doing something. But the reality is, you really have to scratch your head to think why our president would fly 11,000 miles round trip, the carbon emissions, by the way, that go with it, to beg Saudi Arabia to produce more oil when you can do it right here in the United States. My colleagues and I all week have been saying, visit Texas, visit Oklahoma, visit New Mexico. We can be energy independent. We can once again be a net exporter like we were under President Trump. There is still capacity when you look at the pre-COVID levels in terms of our production. And the reasons why we are not, our companies are not investing is because they have an administration that has been so unfriendly, that has canceled the Keystone Pipeline, that refuses to build the infrastructure, that refuses to give the leases necessary to ramp up production domestically. It is a national security issue, and the president should be doing it right here in the United States, not going to individuals all around the world. And I will add that, you know, the fist bump, I think, was very offensive to many people, predominantly those who I represent or victims of September 11th, who have been begging the president to release classified documents that they believe contains information that Saudi was linked to the September 11th attacks. So this is, you know, when the president says he's going to treat someone as a pariah on the campaign trail, then turns around and begs them for more oil, that is really quite the turnaround from what he promised the American people.
I do want to talk further about that fist bump just seen across the world, because it was so widely, broadly criticized, even among Democrats. Let's pull up this tweet from Adam Schiff. Congressman Schiff tweeted this: if we ever needed a visual reminder of the continuing grip oil-rich autocrats have on U.S. foreign policy in the Middle East, well, we got it today. One fist bump is worth 1,000 words. For Congressman Schiff to tweet that, someone who is an ally, a close ally of the president, I mean, what does that say to you?
Well, it just shows that the criticism is not political. It is a reality that many members of Congress, both Republicans and Democrats, are dismayed by the way that this president has handled foreign policy. I mean, he has, since day one, kowtowed to our adversaries. When you look at Russia giving them Nord Stream 2 while canceling our pipeline here at home, re-entering the Paris Accord without requiring China and India to operate a level playing field, going to Venezuela to try to get them to produce more oil, lifting flight restrictions to Cuba, appeasing another communist regime. It has just been one bad foreign policy decision after another. This is not peace through strength, which is what President Trump exemplified. It is quite the opposite. It's going back basically to the Obama appeasement and that type of foreign policy. It puts America last.
Really quickly, just 30 seconds left, Congresswoman. I want to switch gears to inflation. Inflation spiraling out of control, but the White House says that the consumer price index is actually off. Speaker Pelosi even said that she feels like inflation is peaking, about to peak. Your colleague, Representative Elissa Slotkin, not really convinced by that, saying that, she's been hearing this for quite some time, since last Christmas. Does the speaker know something that perhaps you and Slotkin don't know?
Again, they are playing smoke and mirrors with the American people, but the American people know that inflation is having a true impact. They are losing the value of their wages. They are seeing it when they go fill up the gas tank, when they go buy food for their families, when they go to pay their everyday expenses and cost of living. It is caused by the Democratic policies, both economic and the anti-energy policies. Look, when you don't have energy, what happens? The cost of delivering things goes up.
Right.
The cost of producing food goes up, and that is what we're seeing here. Thankfully, we stopped the Build Back Broke agenda, and we must be vigilant now that they're trying to bring pieces of it back again.
Yeah,
Republicans
Senator
must stand
Manchin
united with Senator Manchin to stop it.
Exactly. All right, we got to go. Thank you so much for joining us, Congressman. We appreciate it. Please come back soon. Griff?
Thank you.
Aisha, for perspective.